All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today, we are hearing the case of State versus Killian Gray. Please be seated.
Is he eating?
Sounds like
Who appears on behalf of the state?
There's Nash.
Fuck this table. Your Honor, it's going to be State Attorney Kane Anderson, Deputy State Attorney James Hale, and Sergeant Lincoln Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Who appears on
Range
behalf
is
of
completely
the
messed up.
defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. Rick Richards, lawyer for the defendant. To my left, the defendant, and I'll let my co-counsel introduce themselves behind me.
Johnson Long, second chair.
I'm Larry. I'm not sure why I'm here, but I'm going to help. Third chair.
All right, good to have you here.
All right.
Mr. Gray, please confirm that you are Killian Gray, the defendant in this case.
Yeah, Killian Gray.
All right. Mr. Anderson, please advise the court of the charges that you're bringing against Mr. Gray.
Oh.
As of report 4316, Mr. Killian Gray is facing the charges of principal drug trafficking, principal terrorism, and principal torture, in addition to report 4247, where he will be facing one count of attempted first-degree murder, one count principal reckless evading, and one count of principal kidnapping a government official.
That's it?
At this time, the state has not collected a plea due to the severity of the case, and a majority being court charges.
Say that one more time.
That's
Drug
it?
trafficking, torture, terrorism, attempted first-degree murder, reckless evading, and what was it?
Kidnapping a government
That's
employee.
it? That's it? That's all we got?
Not bad. Not bad.
Wait, was reckless evading on the docket?
No, it wasn't.
It
Why are
wasn't,
we-
but it was mentioned to us in prison.
Yeah.
It was what?
All right, Mr. Gray,
To us in prison.
just advise you of a couple of your rights today in the court. Ms. Gray, you have the right to be represented by an attorney through these proceedings. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed and represent you at public expense. Do you understand these rights?
Yeah.
Mr. Gray, you also have a right to the fair and public trial.
Excuse me?
You have the right to confront your cross-examine and
What are you talking about? I'm in the courtroom.
excuse me, members of the gallery.
Did you just go
Mr.
around
Gr-
patting everybody?
Excuse me, members of the gallery. Mr. Gray, you have the right to a fair and public trial. You also have the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses against you. You have the right to present
Thank you
evidence
for the
of
gifted
witness in your
sub.
defense, and the right to remain silent and not to testify. Do you understand these rights?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Gray, how do you plead to the following charges? Principal drug trafficking, principal torture,
I don't think I plead right now, right?
or maybe I should just read them together or one by one?
Plead not guilty to
What
everything.
are you thinking?
All right.
I'll just read them together.
Yeah.
Not guilty.
All right, principal drug trafficking, principal torture, principal terrorism, attempted first-degree murder, reckless evading, and kidnapping of government employee. How do you plead?
Let me quote the BBMC. Not guilty.
All right, let the record reflect that the defendant has entered pleas of not guilty to all the charges against them. I would like to remind counsel, neither I nor Magistrate Menzel have reviewed any reports outside of the initial suit. So therefore, I ask the counsels to present all evidence in this courtroom in order to establish guilt or defense, or to build a defense, and they must be presented here. Additionally, as you know, counsel, the burden is on the state today to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant committed the crimes charged. The defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The burden remains on the state throughout this entire trial.
That's what I heard.
Lastly, members of the gallery, can everyone hear me? Can you hear me in the back?
Yes.
All right. This is a serious case involving serious charges, ladies and gentlemen. In order to hear this
shit.
case effectively And to avoid delays, please keep your phones on silent. Your comments to yourself and conversations to outside the courtroom. Anyone found disrupting today's proceeding will receive a $1,000 fine and a 10-month contempt of court charge, and you will be escorted out of the courtroom by members of the Los Santos Police Department. Does everyone understand?
Gasp. I said that. Yes. I speak for everyone.
State, are you ready to proceed with your opening statement?
Basically, don't interrupt.
Yes, Your Honor. I still hate this table.
You may proceed.
Your Honor, and all parties that attended the court, today we are here for a slew of vigorous and very harsh court charges, upon which the state has proposed a sentencing of life in prison with no 45 years. In the two cases handed to the court today, one of which referencing probably
How did
close
you
to
guys
30
decide? How
or
did you
more
guys
individual
actually
cases
even out the poll?
involving Mr. Gray. They are clear-cut, detailed, and designed to
How did
point
you guys
directly
purposely
to all charges
manage to
being
even
placed
out the
against
poll
him.
for yes
And on
no?
the aspect of attempted murder against Colt Cassidy, all of the ratifiable evidence that will point him in that line of fire. We only ask that the justices review everything with careful dictation and through everything that goes through today to find this man responsible for the actions that he has conducted.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Defense, your opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor. Can everyone hear me without the microphone?
Yeah, you're a
Yes.
yapper.
Yes.
Okay, I don't need it. Your Honor, members of the courtroom, today the state will present a gallery of grave charges against my client, Mr. Killian Gray. Among them, as you've heard, is torture, terrorism, drug trafficking, and attempted first-degree murder. They'll paint my client as a master of chaos, but their picture is distorted. A story built with assumptions and shadowed by the questionable actions of some key witnesses. We're here today because of a simple question. When the story gets twisted, does justice unwind? See, the state's narrative is a complex maze. They must prove every turn, every corner, beyond a reasonable doubt.
Oh,
Meaning,
somebody's doing
the
a.
prosecution must present evidence that leaves no other reasonable explanation for the facts presented.
Somebody's doing a
Convincing
weed
Your
run.
Honor, the defendant is guilty with certainty. You'll hear about an officer whose own methods involve deception. You'll see how lines blurred and personal vendettas may have clouded judgment in today's case. For terrorism, where's the required political agenda? For torture, does the evidence truly show extreme suffering? Or a man caught in a bitter feud? For drug trafficking, where's the direct link? And for attempted murder, can the state truly
Just blame
prove
Ramee. It works more often than you
calm
think.
premeditation beyond all doubt?
You know, that's true.
situation. Mr. Gray is presumed innocent. Hold the state to its high burden. Listen critically, carefully. And as you navigate
Crazy
their
how we're
story,
gonna get Doomsday before
ask
GTA
yourselves
6.
if their version of guilt can truly stand,
True.
or if reasonable doubt remains. We believe we'll find it does, and find Mr. Gray not guilty.
Thank you, defense. State, your first witness.
Your Honor, give me 1 second to confer on which witness we're going to call first.
Sure thing.
My watch has been disconnected from my phone. You just stream more, you're too good at RP? That's what everybody keeps telling me. I don't know, man. I've never won one to say that I'm any good, to be honest. Everybody else around me is better.
Your Honor, we are going to call Bo Hillinghead to the stand.
Mr. Hillinghead, please approach the stand.
Oh, he actually is here.
Oh, sorry, I fucked that up.
You're gonna be able
Time
to.
to
You
take notes.
should be able to fucking eviscerate him on the stand. There's a lot of shit that you could catch him in perjury for.
I do. What are the pains?
Thank you. Maybe seated, whatever you're comfortable with.
Your Honor, for future swearings, can we ask that the yellow jacket speak up?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. Bailiff, next time just make sure you're speaking up so everyone in the gallery can hear you, okay? Thank you.
And it's the pains and penalty of law.
Okay, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Hillinghead is your witness.
How's it going, Bo?
Is he saying I? Hello?
I hope so.
Yes, I am good, sir.
Can you explain to me anything that happened between Leanne Cassidy and Killian Gray?
Huh?
Yes.
What kind of question is
Would you
that?
like me to?
It's
Yeah.
pretty vague, but I'm just gonna let
Okay,
it.
so my first contacts with Killian
Does this
Gray,
honor stream?
revolved
mean?
around an investigation. Leanne and my then partner Dante were working around La Fuente Blanca in relation to suspicious activity. Later on in that same evening, Leanne would spot a suspicious vehicle moving from La Fuente Blanca.
Oh, the
to
judge. Oh, I have no idea. I don't even know who he
ended up
is.
down at the docks off of, I think it was Place. So after that initial kind of investigation into the vehicle and La Fuente Blanca, Leanne personally would uncover while we were securing that vehicle down at the docks, I think it was 3 bricks of marijuana, and upon further lab analysis, that marijuana was laced with ammonia. So that was the initial Killian Leanne startup. After Leanne had seized those 3 bricks, this seemed to have upset who we didn't identify as Killian Gray at that time, but it upset whoever was responsible for moving that we call it product, but that marijuana. So
Yeah, it was crazy.
an individual
Regardless,
was kidnapped.
the fact that I survived all those gunshots being thrown out was
but
insane.
There was a deal exchange negotiated between Killian Gray, the defendant, and Leanne Cassidy. That was Leanne and the 3 bricks of marijuana.
Oh shit!
Object! Meet with Killian.
Oh shit.
Oh shit!
What the?
Who objected?
The commissioner.
Oh fuck!
Shit.
Wait,
Oh, Lord.
I'm taking.
Why's he got a rifle?
Man tried to kill me.
Oh god. Isn't this like contempt of court or something?
Then don't object. That we're getting there.
Who is this man that is rolled in here?
Commissioner Colt Cassidy, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Cassidy, if you may, can
Oh,
you please allow the
shit.
state attorney to argue on your behalf as what his job is intended to do, without making disruptions? I understand that you have some frustration and discontent, but please, we need to hear this case.
I just wanted to be on the record that man has baloney nipples, no class,
Who got
and
baloney
he's a
nipples?
murderer.
Who got baloney nipples?
That is
Allegedly.
noted, sir. Please
Allegedly.
do not interrupt the court further.
As the
This is already
witness on
disrupted.
the stand, I will repeat that they have baloney nipples and whatever else.
Your Honor,
Fuck
please
is
make
this
sure that that is on
slander?
the record.
Go on.
Who's gonna let an injured man with an assault rifle?
Your Honor, if I may speak with the state's attorney real quick.
Sure.
Might be more prejudicial than probative.
Can we turn around and turn this into a slander against me?
Hey.
Defamation? Yeah.
Hey, when they testified about the drugs being found right now, he wasn't seen in direct possession of them, right?
No.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's what I'm.
That's
what
it.
I'm-
Yeah, you're gonna get. them,
That's
yeah.
one of my questions. Is how? Well, okay, but the thing is
Johnson.
like,
Just real quick, just to make this
There is a
easier for all
doctor.
three of us, let's make a really quick group chat.
No.
yeah.
You can't leave the box.
Also,
suck at
if you
that.
guys have questions, like fire them up there. I don't have to be the only one that's.
No, I just
Yeah,
I
Your
just
Honor,
sent-
we need to approach the bench.
I just sent something to Jill.
Leon, can I speak to you for a second?
I want a group chat.
Okay, let's do it. I'll start it right now.
Is that a
After
yes?
you,
No.
You know, after
You may approach.
finish your question, you
Yes,
don't
you
have
may
to say no
approach.
further questions. You can.
Can one of the
see
three
if I have anything, I'll get
approach
up.
the bench?
Yep.
Killian head, feel free to step down.
Oh,
Oh, are we doing a?
No,
You
step down.
can.
you might want to.
I'm still sworn in.
Carter, have some compassion.
Yeah, goddamn, Carter.
Hey, what was their PC for searching that vehicle? Do you have any
He's
idea?
not well.
No.
He has a cane and
Okay.
a wheelchair.
He has a gun.
Well, that's what I'm pulling into question. So,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a long
Friends
night,
alive.
Killian. It's gonna be a long night.
It might. It might. How is Colt not dead? I don't know.
You guys look so alike.
I don't think Colt has nipples.
You have baloney nipples?
No.
Oh.
It's slander.
Oh. I guess he doesn't have
Is he
baloney.
already listed as a witness? Then absolutely not. We haven't had time to prepare questioning for him. We're going to object to this strong.
Oh, they're trying to get Colt Cassidy as a witness.
You could have still put him on a list of potential witnesses.
Oh, they're trying.
A court case, that's not a wedding. If he's not a lawyer.
There's fucking arms flailing around. It's fucking hilarious. Well,
I withdraw the objection.
No, both.
Did I withdraw the objection?
You have thoughts on this?
what? What's happening?
If they do want to put him up there, you know, for we at least ask the judges to factor in his current, state of mind into his
We can do that.
I would demand
This thing, don't you?
Dr. Oscopy or Chief EMS evaluate him before we agree to let him do any of that.
Exactly.
What's going on?
All right.
Somebody come over here and tell me.
You guys want to withdraw the objection?
What was the objection that you?
Not to allow him
Hey,
to be a
so
witness?
far so good, man. You got an objection.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
They want to call Colt Cassidy as a witness, put him on the witness list, but
But he wasn't even on listed.
I know we're objecting to that because of his.
The man's got a
State of
fucking
mind.
assault rifle right now, sitting in a wheelchair.
Yeah, exactly. That's
How do we know he's not coming in here to shoot me with that?
Exactly. We brought that up. We did bring that up. So I don't think he's gonna testify.
Well, Carter's over there fucking giving all kinds of hint to
Guys,
Kane and
it
shit.
looks
So
like Dr. Oscopy, the Chief of Medicine, is currently evaluating Colt Cassidy.
I mean, of course not.
Look, if somehow does get in, one, his gun needs to be removed. Two,
Wow, 2 months.
his state of mind needs to be factored into this, into whatever sort of judgment they end up making.
We can withdraw the
Was this
objection
doctor
under those
just
conditions.
It's just conveniently would just have a doctor here?
Yeah.
Well, he was here the whole time.
Just wanted him to focus
Come to
on
all
this
these.
and then we'll take care of
He was here before Colt Cassidy came in.
You want to withdraw the objection under those
it. I need to
conditions?
be
Or
my
no?
character witness.
What was the objection? I don't even
I'm objecting to him being a witness at all, but I'm willing to withdraw it as long as his state of mind is being factored in.
Look, here's the deal. If nothing else, you can impeach him as a witness if he shows on the stand that he fucks up.
Yeah. I'd rather not have him in, honestly, but.
So you're gonna be my character witness or what?
Yeah, but if the doctor clears him, the only option is impeach him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what if we withdraw our objection and the doctor comes back, he's of sound mind?
Damn.
I don't think we withdraw anything right now. I think we wait.
Yeah, I think we wait. Okay, so they found those 3 bricks of wheat in the vehicle. Is that what the testimony was? I saw your message about the PC.
Guys.
Yeah.
They really want to get Cassidy up there.
I know they do. I know.
That means it's bad for us.
Yeah, but
He just texted.
so the whole thing that I sent you was what they said on the stand.
Right. Because that one thing that they said isn't enough.
All right, counsels.
All right, back up we go.
Why? Sporadic. Sorry. It's faster this way.
One v one hop outs? He wouldn't want that.
Who's this?
Thing I'm going to say is that if
Maybe.
and the doctor rules out of sound mind.
No, you need to go back in the gallery. No, you need to go back in the gallery right now. No.
Go back.
Back in the
Jimmy.
gallery right
Be a
now.
good boy. Back
No.
in the gallery.
1 minute.
Back in the gallery now.
Phoebe, I'm not going to do anything. I don't have anything.
I don't care. Back in the gallery right now. I will place you in cuffs and take you out of this courtroom if you do not go over there now.
Go on, Jimmy.
Final warning.
And hell's waiting for you.
I'm
Be a
doing
good
it.
boy, Jimmy.
Sorry about that, sir.
That's all right. Can't really trust anybody wearing denim anyways.
I would like to take one.
Honors.
Yeah.
What happened?
All right, Colt's not testifying.
Yes.
Be able to testify, so you're good. Although,
We want to get a
Use
bow
him
back
to our
up there.
Advantage.
huh?
Wonder if we can use him to our advantage.
Oh.
Mr. Hillingham?
Cassidy.
Crazy state of mind.
Melissa was the cherry on the top. I know.
BB.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Hillinghead. Just a reminder that you're still under oath.
Thank you.
On the record, the last thing I have is Mr. Anderson is there was an exchange between Leanne Cassidy of the 3 bricks with Mr. Killian, and Cole Cassidy entered, and baloney nipples are on the record. So you may continue from there.
Thank you, sir. So
We're starting
a
soon.
deal
Everyone
was-
sit down, settle.
A deal was set up between Killian and Leanne for her to turn over the 3 bricks. The
I want it on the
contingency of this
record
deal
that
being
it was
Leanne had to
never
do
it was
alone.
never said
My brother
that
Dante refused.
Actually, come here.
And said that we had to have 2 officers up there to do the exchange.
Make sure noted
Eventually,
you question him exactly
wasn't
what
part
was
of the
said
negotiations,
because
but
I
2
never
officers
said
went up
bricks
onto
exactly.
the edge of a bridge that it's the big red one off of La Puerta Freeway.
You never said. Who said?
Nope.
Never said bricks.
So
they just
went up
automatically
the-
assumed that I wanted
the
that
support
they were
beams
supposed to
make
give
the
over bricks.
exchange, And next thing I know, as I'm holding security down at the lower level on the outside of the bridge,
The keyword to a lot of this was
I believe
property,
it was 1 gunshot went off.
and they just automatically assumed.
I saw Leanne fall over and Killian dive into the water off of the bridge. Dante was up there with Leanne radioing in for backup and medical.
That's crazy.
The whole 9. I went into the water to chase after Killian with another officer. When I saw a sort of submarine emerge from the water, to this day, I couldn't describe it if I tried. But I saw it breach the water. I tried to follow it swimming. Obviously, it was futile, and then it just disappeared south towards like Cayo Perico, or the aircraft carrier that sits off the coast. That was kind of the last we had heard from him that night.
Okay.
But that started an interesting game of psychological cat and mouse between Killian and Leanne, where he would reach out to her via unknown numbers or generalized stalking, following her vehicles. Just kind of continuing it from there, continuing the contact. He would reach out to her and plant the seed that nobody in the LSPD cared about her, that she didn't, nobody cared, she didn't have friends, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. So that was how it started.
Your Honor, prosecution would like to make a point in 4316. The
Does sound
3
like a lot
numbers are listed at the top to substantiate the claim of Bo Hillinghead. These were taken through multiple screenshots with more or less some level of confirmation between all of these, including
Confirmation of what?
during the arrest of Mr. Killian Gray, him being found with 3 individual SIM cards.
What?
Mr. Hillinghead, do you know of any other physical altercation between Killian Gray and Leanne Cassidy?
Your Honor, at this point, I'm gonna object to lax foundation. We haven't heard any testimony that ties any of these numbers to my client. Just that there was a text that were received by Leanne Cassidy from a number. We have no way of knowing that they tie back to my client.
The SIM cards found at his arrest come back to these numbers.
Was that foundation laid in testimony? I hadn't heard
None of those
It's
SIM
foundation
cards.
laid in evidence.
None of those SIM cards are ever gonna have any tie to me other than them being found on me. I could have picked them up for
If
anyone.
I may, Your Honor.
They're not tied to me.
The objection is sustained.
Nice.
All right, Your Honor, at this time, motion to strike anything that was mentioned about those SIM cards belonging to my
3 SIM
client.
cards and the 3 phone numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Anderson, just lay a little bit of foundation out for those and how you got them. With
Nice!
filling out on this time.
Does Prodigy do death sentences? I know you have to agree.
The
not death
foundation
there's
is
no
the
death
evidence
sentences
itself
now.
inside of
Life in
4316.
prison.
It is the
Life in
second to
prison
last
is one
photo
thing.
at the
There's
bottom
no
of the
death
docket.
There's no death sentences.
Mr. Anderson, you have a witness on the stand. Maybe he could help you out rather than just
Why is the judge helping him?
entering evidence.
Okay.
Don't let the judge
I'll
guide
just
him.
bring up the evidence again later. So, yeah, continuing. Mr. Hillinghead, any other physical altercation between Killian Gray and Leanne Cassidy?
Yes. So, after that incident on the bridge where Killian had gotten away from us via
break
submarine,
mechanic soon? I don't know.
Phone numbers, unknown phone numbers, or just different phone numbers that we didn't recognize would start reaching out to Leanne.
I'll bring it up on cross
earlier, and just
yeah, I'm glad you understand.
Doubt.
I'm glad you understand why I looked over at you.
Her friends and I guess
never. Hi, Rec.
Essentially, right? So
big shout out to fucking Recreations. He's an amazing fucking dev.
I can't remember if it was days or a day later. It was so long.
Recreations is fucking amazing.
I was out on patrol. I switched to one of our radio tachs, one of our
fucking
secure channels.
CG hideout,
talking about
the BBMC hideout,
so
the hobos.
I inquired further.
And even more that you guys haven't seen. All our Rec, and he's fucking amazing.
Cassidy. So
absolutely fucking amazing.
At that time, it was, full tilt boogie. Everybody's checking, the different spots people seem to end up when they're kidnapped and what have you. So everybody's hitting different locations around the city. When Dante reached out to me with a phone number that had been in contact with him and also been in contact with Leanne prior, we were all under the working theory at that point that it was Killian, based on the subject matter of the text messages. It was just kind of overplay from
I'm gonna re-raise
the
that,
initial incident, right? So Dante passes me off the number. I didn't know anybody had been in contact with Killian because
this is something. This is something also for you.
So
is that you can poke at him for this because he laughed at Leanne during this.
I think it was over
and didn't believe that it was actually happening.
No, I tried calling. That's right. I
so
tried calling.
you can play that as well.
The person answered and said, "You're not the officer that's supposed to be calling," or something to that effect. I tried to get in a quick couple of words of rebuttal. He
laughed at Leanne being taken.
Negotiate what have you, and the phone call was cut short.
God damn, that man's fat.
Texted the number trying to open negotiations. Offering information, offering anything else, release the officer kind of thing.
God damn, that cop is fat.
He thought, and I remember this, he thought because I'd reached out a second time after being warned I wasn't taking it seriously. I was taking this as a joke.
But did he actually know that, or is that speculation?
And based off of what I thought I knew about Killian,
I mean,
seeds of doubt with Leanne,
allegedly, I told him that he wasn't taking it seriously because he was laughing at Leanne.
Psychological move. So I kept running that angle. Keeping in contact with Killian. I can't remember the exact things I said to him, but we had a back and forth. And
no, we didn't.
It didn't lead anywhere because an officer had made contact with Leanne or saw Leanne.
We didn't have a back and forth after that. I told him he didn't take her seriously and then hung up the phone.
She was running across the tarmac, and she was able to be safely recovered by officers.
She also wasn't hurt, and I'd like to bring up the part about Kane asking if it was physical. None of she wasn't physically harmed during that.
An explosive device being there, and Leanne would then, I believe, or our investigation would later confirm it was Killian.
And
what event was
this
that?
is just to kind of rope it back in.
That was the airport kidnapping.
The specifics of the question was a physical altercation between Leanne and Killian. Has she sustained physical injury?
What?
Because of Killian Gray?
When you get home, mister.
Yes, she got shot in the throat by a high-powered rifle.
That was already brought up with the bridge shit after she got shot. So that he's bringing shit up again.
Has there been any physical interaction between you and Killian Gray?
Yes.
Can you go into detail of the outcome of the physical interaction?
I would end up wildly tortured.
Wait, what?
Fucking large cat claw marks, burns, cuts. I have a K that is still carved into my left arm.
Could have been from anybody.
You know, I've been shot by him, his goons. Yeah.
That
you know,
he claims my goons.
Could you explain the situation about the burning?
They also didn't. They also
I had
didn't
my
bring any
face
of that up.
burned with a welding torch at one point. Apparently, I'd upset him.
ID you at any point through any of that? Like, know that it's you?
Well, I had upset him because I was.
I never wear a mask.
Him,
It doesn't matter if they know it's him. We weren't given that evidence.
His business incredibly loud.
I think we were though.
Just getting into it.
It's in one of the reports for the kidnappings.
Sorry for my language, but
it's in one
he
of
didn't
like
like
the
me.
Praying you get life in jail. Me too. I hope that you can never get another black market case ever.
Terrible little drug empire.
Objection, speculation. This is ridiculous. This witness cannot testify to my client's state of mind.
Oh!
No.
Okay. Yeah, no, I have one. I
didn't realize he was able to.
We're going to request that the court strike everything this witness has said. Why is he still talking?
We would be fine with any speculative assumptions upon the defendant's state of mind, but the other relevant situation be still on record.
Okay, so
hold on, Bo.
Oh, come on, dude.
Mr. Hillinghead,
we will make our ruling, and then you can continue.
the objection is going to be sustained. Mr. Hillinghead, just stick to the facts and your witness testimony. Okay.
Sure.
I had to object. I couldn't listen to another minute of that shit.
If I may, to try and direct this a little bit better for you.
I know I heard you.
Lead him now.
During all the interactions that you had, has there been any direct line communication between you and Killian Gray that would give you good faith and belief to why he was doing these things?
Huh?
Yes.
What?
All right. Were these done face to face or through phone?
Both.
It was like.
What happened face to face?
Wasn't that leading?
He told me on multiple occasions that he wasn't going to stop doing what he was doing.
Like, how much are we supposed to hold back on objections?
Don't object to everything.
Until
the judge
I was
told us.
dead or
he told us
until we get warned.
Bullshit.
Okay. And why did he ever explain why he wanted you
he
fired?
tells us to knock it off?
Yes, he thought I was a dirty officer. He thought I was a dirty cop.
Correct.
Speculation again.
No, that's not speculation. That's what he said.
Hold on, Bo. Please. Your Honor, in rebuttal to this, this is one side of an individual giving firsthand account to a conversation. The reason why I didn't bring the text messages into play is because those would be documented inside of the master file report. If Mr. Gray wishes to contest anything that Mr. Bo is stating he did or did not say, then that is up to him to take the stand to refute it.
Can I respond, Your Honor?
Oh, sure.
Well, first, going back to the text messages, we still haven't laid any foundation for how those phone numbers are traced back to my client. It's just phone numbers as far as we're concerned. We don't know if they belong to my client. And two, the answer, I believe, from Mr. Hillinghead was something about the thoughts that my client had. Not like, here were these messages, this is what was said. It was directly speculation.
Your Honor, we are literally getting first-hand account from one side of a conversation
Let's not
between
talk about
two
other
people.
Okay. I am going to overrule, but Mr. Hillinghead, just rephrase your answer, please.
Give me a minute.
Re-ask question.
Yeah.
Hold on, last thing I have, Mr. Anderson, is Killian said he wasn't going to stop until Bo was dead or fired, okay?
I have it here that he said he asked the question of did he explain why he wanted him fired, to which Mr. Killian apologies, to which Mr. Hillinghead here responded, he thought I was a dirty cop.
That was the basis of my objection, was the thought.
And I understand that. Yep. As I am saying, just re-ask the question and rephrase it, please.
Okay. Mr. Hillinghead, I'm going to have you review a piece of evidence entered to this docket, the basis of everything that we are here for. This is going to be report 4016.
I'm sorry, what's that number?
4316.
Can't believe you already got off, Nikki.
The second to last photo at the bottom of this. Could you go ahead and read the description?
I mean, yeah, probably. God, I hope not.
Second to last photo. Are you talking about the evidence photo?
Yes.
Okay, so evidence from incident 2351. L96.
Oh, you mean
A1
Galdor.
sniper rifle, serial number Samuel Alpha 100416529-1, removed from one Mr. Killian Gray.
Your Honor, the state wishes the judges to ask upon the defense if they have requested access to 2351 or have reviewed 2351.
Defense?
We asked for access to all of it. They said that there were too many and they would do a master file for us.
Are you talking about the master file?
From the master file, correct.
Which report?
2351.
Yes, incidents 2351.
If I can speak on that, when I asked in the jail, in the prison, if we had access to the other reports, we were told it was too many and somebody would be compiling something.
We have it, bud.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it. Yes, we have
Opening
access.
it up now, yeah.
Well, I don't have access, so I'm going to shut the fuck up now.
Mr. Bo, the sniper rifle that is highlighted there, could you explain how that was recovered and what it was used for?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to this as for relevance. This my client has already served his time for this particular charge, and being found with this weapon, there's no relevance to the current charges.
Yeah, it was a compound question.
We are compiling evidence. This is a big case.
It was already
stemming across multiple and individual situations, leading towards something else.
Let's not talk about that. Let's not do that big.
Mr. Long, the objection is going to be overruled.
What?
Part of the elements to the charges that Mr. Gray is facing today can and does have a burden that requires high grade weaponry. So this is relevant. Your objection is overruled.
Your Honor, may I be heard on that point, please? I think we're getting at drug trafficking, but as far as I'm reviewing in this report, there's no mention of any narcotics, any sort of drugs in this specific report. And if they're trying to prove drug trafficking through this, these weapons need to be in conjunction with the other burden of proof with that, right? It's finding 11 plus bricks of in his possession.
Even with that, the objection is still going to be overruled because the question is how did the police come in contact with this and collect this piece of evidence?
I was already charged for that weapon.
Mr. Anderson, you may proceed.
Sorry, could you re-ask the question?
How did this rifle come into contact with PD? How was it recovered and how was it used?
Prep up for a story because this is a badass one. We had intel from Mr. Killian himself, who was reaching out to Dante, my partner, that he was just leading us on a little rabbit chase, trying to find him. You'll find me here, you'll find me there, blah, blah, blah. So eventually the chase goes down to leading us to boats that somebody had left off the shore of LSIA, and Killian pinging us a location to a cargo ship off the coast. We tried to get out there. We, obviously radioed it in, everything. Tried to get out there with the boats, but there was no way to board the ship with the boats provided. So we had to go get helicopters, or a helicopter. So we went back to PD. We got a air certified pilot and members of command to approve our operation. And we did a high altitude, low opening jump onto the cargo ship. So we deployed our parachutes and landed ourselves on the cargo ship while taking fire from people that Killian had called his friends. He had left there waiting for us. So we parachute in, we get our guns up. Dante smokes like 4 people. I smoke a couple. We move around to the back of the ship where Killian is, or actually we don't even get there, right? I go to meet with Dante because we had landed staggered when I took a single shot to the back, which threw me to the floor. I struggled to my feet. Dante helped me up, and I was a hurting unit at that point. So, but Killian's still firing. We waited for an opportunity. We split up, head down to the other end of the ship where he is at the top of the bridge, up on the roof of the bridge, I should say.
Thank you for the biddies.
To fire at us. He tagged me another time.
You're good. You're good. Dante. We just got to remember to be respectful.
We were pretty hurt. That is a very high-powered rifle. I was struggling and in pain. Dante was pinned down, but I knew I could get myself to a position to at least draw his fire, and Dante could get an angle on him. So I channeled my inner stupidity, and I ran at him screaming the most heinous shit I could think of saying to redirect his attention at me. It did work, but Dante was a little slow, and I got shot a whole bunch of times. It hurt. So next thing I know, I'm in surgery, but I'm being told in recovery that
this guy's a certified
officers from Dante were able to arrest Killian and seize the rifle he had shot us with, and it also came back to a match to the one he had shot Leanne with, the one that was used in the drug swap when they were moving all of those drugs.
I gotta be in my head for a second
because they were his drugs.
I'll be right back, chat.
So this, per your testimony, this rifle was used during a massive drug deal.
It was used in the recovery of a massive drug deal that we had busted. Shout out to the boys in blue.
Facts, not in evidence. Where's the drugs in the report?
If I may, Your Honor.
There.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, the drugs that were attempting to be exchanged are were recovered from a different report. As Mr. Hilling had pointed out, the kidnapping of Corporal Cassidy was an attempt to recover those drugs from LSPD custody.
I would also like to point out in the master file that is being used, evidence from report 2244, 3 bix of weed with traces of ammonia, forensics from L96A1 sniper rifle serial number Sierra Alpha 100416529-1, corresponding with the evidence from report 2351 showing the L96A1 serial number Sierra Alpha 100416529-1.
What's the what's the report? What the drugs are?
4316. The master file has it in there.
Uh, 3949 3956 2244.
For this specific incident, it would be 2244.
All right. Objection is going to be overruled. The facts are indeed in evidence.
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
I understand that it is a little bit of a hassle to have to jump around between these different reports, but please continue, counsel.
In anything involving you and Mr. Gray, was there any dictation on individuals that he would come after?
Yes.
What was that dictation?
He said he would go after Scarlet, we call her Grape, Striga, Leanne.
These in text or these just verbal?
May, basically anybody he found out that I spent more than 8 minutes with, he would put on a list and tell me I'm going after this person.
Objection, hearsay.
Once again, Your Honor, we are talking about direct lines of communication face-to-face between two parties. I can ask a secondary question to potentially back this up.
Your Honor, hearsay, out-of-court statement offered in court, truth of the matter asserted.
If any discussion between two parties is hearsay, that's wild. We have the other party who could get up on stand and testify against the claims.
Overruled. Please continue.
What happened?
Mr. Hillinghead has Mr. Gray
What
through
happened?
confirmed number.
Objected to hearsay.
Of what? What did he say?
Through confirmed phone number,
That you
texted
had a
you
face-to-face conversation
with relevance to the claim you just made.
And you gave like a list of people that you were going to go after.
Was it a number he used frequently?
Yes. In fact, I had saved it in my phone as Killian Gray.
I've never given a hard list of people that I would
Your
go
Honor,
after.
one moment so I can speak with my co-counsel.
By all means.
Not like a physical list, but like a verbal list, I guess.
I've never had a list of people that I would be going after.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm sat here writing stuff too.
Not gonna lie, I got so lost in the sauce there.
He does a lot of fucking yapping.
Yeah. Maybe that plays in our favor.
Too much information can be a bad thing.
Did he so he testified this was like a big ship that he had to land on to find drugs, right?
Yeah.
Or it was a massive drug deal and they discovered drugs, which they logged into evidence, right?
They found
There wasn't any
bricks
drugs
of-
on the ship though.
Where did they find? Do you know where they
did
found
they
the
ever
3
mention?
bricks?
He never mentioned how he knows those drugs belong to Mr. Killian Gray.
No, they're gonna try to piece it together. I think that. I think we got to ask him about that on cross.
Yeah.
What just happened?
Your Honor, the state
Why is
has
there like
nothing
3
further
Ellie's
at
behind
this
me?
time.
What the fuck?
Are you okay, sir?
Thank you.
Your Honor, can I get a few minutes to confer with my co-counsel?
Sure.
And then we'll get our questioning.
I'm gonna be honest. He did so much fucking yapping. I couldn't really make sense of it.
I think the main thing that they were trying to get was Jesus Christ. The main thing that I took away is they're trying to push the torture of Leanne through this testimony and the drug trafficking. They're trying to hint at drug trafficking. I think the main takeaways is that this event at an airfield with Leanne where she was kidnapped, she was never physically harmed. At least that's what Killian told me. And then Bo was tortured, but then Bo told me, or this is what Killian said again, Bo was tortured, but there's no way Killian said, I don't know. Yeah.
There's no way that he would have known it was Killian.
Actually,
No. He would.
Yeah, we can involve
He
him.
would because I don't.
When Bo was tortured, was there any way that he would have known it was you?
Yes, I don't wear a mask.
Okay.
But
you don't wear a
But
mask.
you didn't harm Leanne during the airport thing, right?
Which is what they said physical, and he still brought it up anyways.
What's the
he said
laughing
that
thing?
he said
Can
that
you-
she got shot in the throat. No.
That was during the bridge situation.
Jesus Christ, he jumped through so many different
He
situations.
jumped through so many situations.
He did. This is why, and I was already charged for that.
You're talking about.
I was already charged for the bridge shit.
Okay.
And again, here's the thing. Never once. Come here. Never once did I ever use the words "bring me the weed bricks" to that whole situation.
Okay, so he's just saying that.
All I've ever told them to return to me in any kind
Property
of
is your
situation is property.
Oh, we need to hound him on
Property.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
Property.
you need to ask him. It was your testimony that he said, "Bring me the weed bricks." Is that correct?
Yes.
When he
Well,
says
don't
yes,
say
we're gonna
correct.
catch
Don't
him.
say correct because that's leading. But just
We can lead on, Cross.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
then we're
done.
gonna.
Okay, but yes, on that, yes, I've only ever stated property. Anytime involving anything has been
You
property.
said what, sir?
Well, he can lie though.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say.
If we catch him in a lie, we can impeach all his testimony.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, the fuck.
I just don't know if in the reports it says property,
Well,
right?
then if they didn't write that, then they're lying, and they're
You get what
lying
I'm
in their
getting at?
statements.
Like you can't impeach him if there's nothing written there and he's just fucking
But-
saying shit.
No,
you know?
but don't
But
they
if
have
the-
screenshots of the text messages?
I don't know.
Was
I
this
don't know.
over
I don't even know what
verbal, a
report
verbal
this-
conversation or text?
Verbal, I think text as well, but I don't. They have the original SIM card, so I don't have any copies of it.
See,
You can
Because
reiterate.
I lost that original SIM card.
When our client told you to bring the property, was that over a text message or over a phone call?
Well, no. Ask.
answer.
Well, I would. Yeah. Well, that and
Yeah, I'm
then.
gonna-
Well, ask him about the bricks. Like,
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like, did he specifically, or something like specifically tell you to
Yeah.
bring the bricks, and what, or was this over text and whatnot? Because I've only ever said property. I've never said bring me bricks or anything.
On the boat, on the big ship that we had to land the helicopter on, did you have drugs on your possession that you were found with? Or were there just drugs in there?
Not that I remember, but it's possible, but I don't think so. I don't remember.
Another minute, Your Honor.
That shit was
Sorry.
forever ago.
All good.
Not a problem.
Can you really quickly? What's the importance of the thing about Bo laughing at Leanne? What was that incident?
Bo laughed at Leanne when she was kidnapped, and her life was hanging on the balance.
Okay, this was the same thing about the airport incident where she wasn't
Correct.
Okay.
And Bo
Right, so
laughed.
Leanne
Bo
called
laughed.
Bo.
Bo called me,
Okay.
and made light of the entire situation and was laughing.
Okay. I'm just gonna target that and then target the bricks. That's the main thing. I mean,
Who made the report and issued the charges? Was it Hillinghead? Because I'm not very thrilled about these screenshots of the phone being not the complete phone.
Let's not get too much into technicality.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
But there's one that's not even half the screen. Like, what is that?
If they're cropping shit out.
I mean, I can let you guys get into that if you want to. You know,
I'm good. I just have I wanted to hound him on how he knows that the drugs belong on the
Okay.
ship.
You can do that.
Hit that property shit.
Okay. Yeah.
But
all
that can backfire if he's like, oh, he was arrested in that situation.
I know. Well.
Alright, well, that's all I'm doing.
I'm gonna leave that to you. You want me to leave that with a Marie?
That's crazy,
I'll leave
Leech.
The bricks to you, and I'll just mention the airport event. Yeah.
Cult is giving Killian so much credit, and
What is that?
I'm actually surprised that she has.
Airport event, and then you can talk about the bricks.
The bricks that he was supposedly,
Yeah, I just want to confirm because you said you wanted to hammer in on that, so I can leave that to you.
I want to hammer in on just the massive drug deal on the boat and how he knew that the drugs on the boat belonged to Mr. Killian Gray.
Okay.
10K if you win this.
Well,
Thanks,
I think
Ashley.
that's the same incident too. With wait, Killian, can you come over here real quick?
So what I want you to look at on line 7 is the screenshot of the phone. It is
The
very
conversation
limiting.
about property versus bricks. Is that the same incident as the
No.
ship? Okay, this is a separate.
No,
incident.
the scene where Leanne got shot. That's
kidnapping.
That
No, sorry, different incident.
Yes, with where she got shot in the neck. That is where the whole property. And I've never said like I said I've never said bricks. I've always said property.
Okay, I'm gonna leave out the fact that she got shot in the neck.
I mean that was already stated.
Chalk that up to another incident. Okay.
So, but I was already charged for that.
Okay. And where was that? Just so I can reference like a
fucking Elysian Fields Bridge. Big bridge right above Elysian Fields Freeway.
All right. I'm gonna let this rip.
Yep.
And then you guys.
Who just got cuffed?
Keep the kinks away from Rama. Table.
All right, Your Honor. Defense is ready to begin questioning at this time.
All right.
Okay. Officer Hillinghead, I want to talk about 3 separate incidents, I believe. One of them was
My
the
poly too? Yes.
airport incident. Remember talking about that?
Yeah.
At some point during this, you had a phone conversation with my client. Is that right?
It might have, yeah.
Okay. And
yes, that was how I first reached out to him. Sorry, I'll clarify that. Yes, how I first reached out to him was a phone call, and he told me I was the wrong cop to have called him.
Okay, so you had a conversation, and someone
with Chef the other
told you
night.
that. What did they tell you during that conversation?
It's about all I can remember is that I was the wrong cop to have called, like another cop was supposed to, or that he didn't want to deal with me specifically.
Okay, and you heard about what would happen to Leanne during that conversation?
I don't recall.
You remember laughing at the individual on the phone and not being serious about the situation?
No, I think I testified earlier. I remember texting and there being a belief I wasn't taking it seriously because I'd reached out again.
And was Leanne ever physically harmed during the airport incident?
I don't believe so. She was running across the tarmac.
Okay. I want to talk about I guess this would be the Elysian Field Bridge incident.
Okay.
You had a conversation with my client, right? And there was, in your words, I think, right? If I'm quoting your testimony, Killian mentioned something about bringing bricks to you.
No, Killian wanted Leanne to bring the bricks to him.
Right, and was this over text or phone call in person? What was the nature of this?
It wasn't with me. It was with Dante or Leanne. I don't know. I just heard it secondhand.
And just to be clear, was this to bring Killian bricks or his property?
What do you mean? What?
Did my client say bricks or property?
I have no idea because I wasn't the one who received the call or the text. I just heard third.
So if you have no idea, then why did you say bricks in your testimony?
Because it was relayed to me that the bricks were what he wanted in exchange for the hostage. I don't know what the specific phone call between Killian and whoever else was, because I don't even know who that person was, whether it be Leanne or Dante.
Then why bring up the conversation?
Okay,
Then
so
why
what you're
bring up the
saying is
topic?
you don't know what happened during this conversation.
I was
Or what
not
was said.
a part of the conversation.
Okay. All right. Your Honor, I'm going to confer with my co-counsel.
How big of a part?
Your Honor, can we get another rebuttal at the objection to Colt Cassidy due to lack of preparedness? Because we're kind of seeing that right now.
What?
Lack of
I'm
preparedness.
confused by what you're meaning.
Johnson Long objected to adding Colt Cassidy to the list of witnesses because they, quote, did not prepare questions for him. However, we are having...
Your Honor, look, if we
extenuated
want to hash this
breaks.
out again, we were given reports last night, probably
30,
referencing
by the
30
way.
plus reports. We had hours to prepare for this case, and now they want to add a witness at the last minute again. That's what they want to.
If anything, Mr. Anderson is further strengthening our reason
The
as to why we shouldn't be
objection
admitting more
to the
work on
additional
this.
witness is still withstanding.
Appreciate the help there, Mr.
Jesus Christ.
Anderson.
What was that? Sorry, Kata?
I said Jesus Christ, Your Honor.
Big GC upstairs. G-Man, he's praying.
Damn.
We're in
Do you have any
trouble.
more witnesses for Mr. Hillingham?
Oh, you're done? Okay. What?
Is anyone talking?
Did you have further questions? You're good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sneaker.
Yeah. Did you have more questions or is it my Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, is everyone quiet? I can't hear you if you're talking.
You can't hear us?
Okay, I'm
Mumble
going to
just
run
died?
outside and come back in, I think.
Your Honor, my apologies. Seems lead counsel's having a headache.
Okay.
Okay, for the time being... Yeah,
Can
let's
anyone
call a
else
recess for
ask these
5-10 minutes.
questions? Okay.
For the time being.
We approached the bench, Johnson.
Yes, you may.
I know you guys aren't rushing along case that you gave us 30 reports to yesterday. Oh, okay.
Are you...
All right.
Are you...
Can you
Johnson,
hear
are you okay with not having
Yeah.
lead counsel here?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I gotta take a nap. I gotta take a nap.
I just don't know if he was done with his line of questioning.
Doctor colonoscopy.
Thank you all for the follows, by the way. Anybody who's followed, I do have notifications turned off just because it was quite a bit of follows coming through.
That is.
I mean, the entire thing is rushed a bit. Purely because it'll be very hard for me after this weekend.
Your honors have already ruled on, and then tell them that their ruling is criminal. Twice.
I'm about to get a contempt.
Hey man, sit down. It's a bad look.
What?
Stop staring down the victim, dude. They might let him on the stand.
He's the one staring at me.
I mean, how are we supposed to prepare for the fact that he was going to be released from the ICU? We're not doctors.
It's not preparing a list of potential witnesses.
What I am asking is for you to allow a victim of a to take the stand and
why is he shouting?
Give their testimony on what happened.
I don't
yeah,
know.
absolutely. I don't see that as far fetched.
Go.
And again, we did not know whether he was going to be.
I still got
ICU,
nothing.
Whether he was going to be dead, whether he was going to be whatever.
I'll
we
DM
had
him.
no idea. How were we to know? But he's here now, and he's cleared by the doctor. We should take that opportunity to put the victim on the stand. Case in point.
Hey, can I talk to you? Or they're still trying to. They're trying to withdraw, or they're pushing still to get Mr. Cassidy on the stand.
Can you hear me? Would you like pizza or pasta?
Mr. Richards, we are as prepared as you are to
There's
put him on the
protein
stand.
in the spaghetti
But
bolognese.
I think we can both agree that having a victim in a crime testify is a good idea for everybody.
Okay. I don't know if I can,
Stare outside.
Did you get that, sir? Kane. I got that. Oh. Did you get
Mr.
that,
Carter, are you aware you're yelling, sir?
No, it's okay though. Okay.
Both, both.
Oh, Robbie finally left.
Says the man in the clown makeup.
Oh, he's closer.
Yes, but I think it's for.
My
I
thing
don't
is,
mind
like,
withdrawing.
what if it blows up in their face?
That's what I'm saying.
And we just give an instruction to the justice.
It's been a week for PD.
Are they both justices? Whatever,
Yeah.
the judges that they has been medically cleared. Sorry, I don't know if that was said or not because I couldn't hear.
Yeah.
Is medically cleared. I have text message confirmation from Dr. Oscopy.
I'm happy to withdraw the objection, and I can destroy him on the stand if needed.
Because I took one of them hostage so that they would listen to me.
Chair, so it's your call, so I didn't make it without you. Of course, yeah, it's gonna really be beneficial to everybody, but it could be detrimental.
My people aren't. My lawyers aren't fully.
Just depends on what he gets up.
Fully 100% ready.
But could be good.
30 cases
You know what? I
in
think
one night.
You feel lucky today? You guys feel lucky today?
I feel lucky. Could be interesting.
I think it could blow up in his face.
I think so too.
Let's just allow it. Let's just do it.
Your Honor, we withdraw our objection.
Thank you, Johnson.
I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it so I can destroy his ass on the stand.
Good luck with that.
Oh, I will. Did you have any further questions for the witness?
I don't even remember where we. Did
You
you
got
wait?
it.
No.
How do you even know it was bricked?
Yeah.
Okay.
That he wanted.
This is supposed to be the part where you hit him with the boat shit.
Yeah. I think
Alright,
Johnson,
I got
this is your time to shine. Yeah. When I respond to their motion, did people?
We're ready to continue if unless we're still in recess.
Wait, what? Say that again?
That doesn't matter.
Let's
I
have
just-
both cancels.
Okay. Yeah.
Shouldn't have done.
Huh? Oh, okay.
I hope all your salmon burn.
Jesus Christ.
The fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? Who's the shirtless man?
Both. We're going to put the doctor on the stand first to testify that he has cleared him of sound of mind, and then we will put the commissioner.
For time's sake, we're going to waive that. Just for time's sake.
I mean, it's two questions. You know, it's. BBMC gonna get fucking shot is what's gonna happen. BBMC probably gonna get shot. Yes, Your Honor. Probably. We can barely hear you if you're talking to us. All right. Yes, Your Honor.
Just woke up out of ICU. We can get the fuck out of this doctor.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I'm fine with because I want to call into question.
Yeah.
The credibility of this doctor, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll.
We need to finish the line of questioning, so maybe just pop a little squat. In this
We can grill him. Like, why would you allow? So he just woke up out of ICU to that. Yeah, you can grill him and like make him look stupid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you think it's appropriate for him to testify now? Yeah.
Wait, have we finished? No, have we finished with the other guy?
Oh no, we haven't. Johnson,
No, I have a couple more questions.
Okay.
We can.
What the hell? How dare you?
All right. We're getting called back in session here.
Look, Colt is going to testify.
take
I do
places.
think it's going to blow up in his face. So.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, the only thing what's he gonna do? He's gonna state that he's.
Officer. How you doing today?
That a man he's never met before. That's
good.
how
I
he
just have a
knew
few
it was
questions
me.
for you, just to clean some things up here.
Sure.
You said it was. You're in your testimony. You say that you had to fly a helicopter onto a ship, correct?
I did not fly the helicopter, and it was not landed on the ship. We flew the helicopter at a high altitude above the ship. It was captained by... I can't remember.
Okay.
Well, not everybody
and
is
then
a
it's
shooter.
and you entered into a
let's
heroic
not-
battle.
let's
Is
not
that
bash
correct?
People for not being
It was
good
crazy.
at
See, he
shooting.
remembered everything on direct testimony, but seems to
Yeah,
forget a
now
lot of
he's
different shit
not-
now.
now he's not remembering now.
Right now. My actions were not nearly as
Slick
heroic
Rick,
as Dante.
Johnson,
I
and
did a lot of
Larry.
tripping, falling and getting shot, and then I.
Can we
talked
make
a lot
sure
of
he's
shit.
using the microphone?
Yeah, he's
Are you're using the microphone?
I believe I'm using the microphone, right?
No, he is.
Okay.
Okay. Was this before or after you were tortured?
Before.
This occurred before. Forgive me, I just need to clarify because your testimony was all over the place.
Yes.
What, if you could remind the court what you perceived was going on the boat?
Killian was luring Dante to the boat.
Huh?
I can't remember why. specifically.
Memory
but it was
issues
to
again.
do with
Now he's having memory issues.
His involvement with the shooting of Leanne Cassidy.
Okay. And were there any drugs found on this boat?
I can't recall because I was shot a few times and then I was unconscious when Killian was actually apprehended.
To your knowledge, during this incident, was my client ever found with drugs in his possession?
No, just the rifle.
No further questions.
I do have another question, Your Honor. Just one more. Officer Hillinghead, do you normally have memory issues, or is it just during cross-examination?
Objection, Your Honor. Inflammatory.
After being shot, mostly, or
Hold on.
I withdraw my question. No further questions.
Motion to strike the question.
Yeah, let's just strike that.
You don't have to strike a withdrawn question. What the fuck are we doing here?
Any redirect from this? Your motion is granted. That question is stricken from the record. Any redirect from the state?
Why are we motioning to strike a withdrawn question? That's fucking wild.
That'll be all
question is
for
crazy. Yes.
Yeah.
That'll be all for Officer Hillinghead, Your Honor. We are ready for the next witness.
Wait, they can motion to strike, and I'll ask
Defense,
it
are
again.
you marking Mr. Hillinghead for recall?
I would.
Be free to exit, if you so please.
I mean, we could definitely milk more information out of him, but at what cost?
I'll be here.
Time-wise.
All right.
Yeah, if he's... Yeah, we'll mark him for recall. If he's going to be here, sure.
Okay. All right. State your next witness.
Sergeant Tobias Tarts.
Sergeant Tarts, approach the stand, please.
Would you please raise your right hand?
What are you opening?
I'm a big Tarts fan.
Do you solemnly swear that the...
To tell the truth.
Sorry. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury?
I do.
My cat's getting into shit.
The witness is sworn in, Your Honor.
Thank you. You comfortable, Mr. Tarts?
Oh, I'll try.
State your witness.
Sergeant Tarts.
Hold on, let me sit down.
For expediency, make sure to use the microphone. Could you explain your direct involvement to any of the charges against Killian Gray?
My direct involvement, there are several. I refiled some warrants, I wrote some warrants, and I was the predominant lead for the attempted murder of Commissioner Cole Cassidy.
Digging into the attempted murder. What
cat's name is Bella. And she's a pain in my
evidentiary
ass.
or factually led to the discovery that Killian Gray was behind this?
He took direct claim for it, both to Officer Hank Castle, to then Officer James Hale.
Did that happen?
Through his texts to different officers. The fact that he fled from the immediate scene, and a photograph that was found on his person at apprehension of Commissioner Colt Cassidy on a rooftop.
I don't remember.
That was taken from the exact spot that he was shot at.
Were any officers there to witness Colt Cassidy being shot?
It doesn't necessarily play into premeditation, though, so...
Yeah.
The text message that you speak of, how is this verified?
There is a phone number in there that started with 059, and I do not remember the rest of it right off the top of my head. This was cross-verified with Deputy Chief Leanne Cassidy, myself, and other officers who had this phone number from Mr. Killian Gray, known as Killian 3, for the 3 different phone numbers.
I thought they already said that they had the 3 different phone numbers already.
I think they're just trying to like...
Where did this incident with Commissioner Cassidy take place?
This happened at the Los Santos International Airport at the exact point at which Deputy Commissioner Leanne Cassidy was taken a month prior.
What was used to commit the act?
There was a large caliber firearm that was used to shoot the commissioner while he was standing presumably on a ledge and believed to have fallen quite a distance.
If you could give a reasonable judgment of the fall.
In the vicinity of 50 feet.
As we are here on attempted first degree, was there any precognitive motion that would leave you, a officer of the LSPD, to believe premeditation?
What?
Yes. There was a couple of phone calls, both video and non-video, with Deputy Chief Leanne Cassidy, the sister of the commissioner, that had the commissioner stating that he was told by Mr. Gray that he wishes to kill the commissioner.
Objection, hearsay.
Testifying about a phone call with someone else that did not involve him.
Bearing in mind, if I could follow that up, I was sitting directly beside.
Hold. Rebuttal.
Due to the little excerpt of Sergeant Tarts, I would like for him to continue that before the judges make a ruling on sustainment or overruling. Simply because it could be ratified through further testimony.
Wait, Your Honor, even if this witness does go on to say that he was sitting next to so-and-so, his interpretation of events or what he might have heard through a phone call, we don't know if it was on speakerphone, if it wasn't, it may not have been the exact wording that was actually said. We can't...
We can't.
If I may, Your Honor.
Objection without a ruling on the objection.
This statement can also be verified when cross-referenced with Leanne Cassidy's statement within 4247.
That hasn't.
Don't think that's been brought into evidence yet.
It is inside the master file.
But it hasn't been brought here yet.
And the file for the attempt
before we move on.
Commissioner.
Your Honor, I asked that we'll submit to your decision.
Please.
Yep.
Discussing.
Weren't they in a helicopter a little hard to have a phone call in a heli? I don't
that was my
maybe. I don't know that.
I'm talking about you. I'm talking about everybody.
Okay. So we are going to sustain the objection. Please, if you are going to reference a case file in the future, please just make a note of it in your questioning, and please re-ask the question in a different.
Okay. Damn. Inside of the submitted docket report, could you read Leanne Cassidy's statement?
Yes. Would you like it in full or the highlights?
The highlight.
Okay. First highlight. I received a video call from my brother, Commissioner Colt Cassidy, while he was off duty. Second highlight. On the video, a man rolled up next to him in what looked like a luxury matte black sedan. I instantly recognized him as one Killian Gray, state ID 2234. Killian pointed a gun directly at Colt while he was on a video call with me. He did not wear a mask. He was wearing a red suit, a fedora, but didn't tip it saying "Milady," which seemed out of his usual character. I immediately attempted to warn Colt that was Killian. Third highlight. During the call, Colt stated Killian said he was going to kill him. At the end of the call, I heard Colt cry out in pain and say no, no, and the call was cut short.
In reference to this statement, how long was it between that video call and the response officers had to LSIA?
Minutes.
My memory is so bad on that. I don't.
Upon arrival of the scene, where was Commissioner Cassidy?
I forget.
On the ground, directly below where he was shot.
One moment, Your Honor.
I don't remember what I said. I don't remember if I ever said my name during it, but I don't remember. I don't actually remember if I ever told Colt my name during that.
Yeah, she's the hook, line, sinker.
Thank God we hung that whiteboard from the roof.
Nothing further for now, Your Honor.
I don't think I ever mentioned my name to Colt,
understand.
but I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Your Honor is going to just confer with co-counsel real quick. If you could just give us a minute or two.
Yep, no problem.
You know?
In his answers, there was no sign of
Yeah,
premeditation.
exactly.
He can't
Here's
prove
the
whether
thing.
it's premeditated or if he was acting in a bit of rage.
Which is why I don't even think we need any questions. Because, like, here's the thing. They didn't so that last line of questioning was to establish premeditation. They didn't do it. Like, having a gun at someone's head doesn't necessarily mean it's premeditated.
That's not premeditated.
Heat of
You can
passion.
piss them off right there in the moment.
Yeah. So I don't even think we asked questions, honestly. We just
Exactly.
let
That's
this
something
sit.
to note down for your closing argument.
I don't know. I mean, Larry, unless you have
If you really feel strongly about that, you could mark him for a recall, but
Yeah, I think I don't have.
I'd be nervous about that one. This particular witness is exceptional in this room.
Oh, 100%. That's why I don't want to even. I'd rather not ask questions. Just leave it
Yeah,
at that.
they didn't prove premeditation in that. I think we're good to move on.
Okay. Yeah. Your Honor, at this time, the defense does not have any questions for Officer Tart.
Are you marking him for recall?
No, Your Honor, we are not.
No to the no.
Mr. Tart,
Keep it moving on out the door.
Kane, come here. There was no.
Who is?
There's no questions for the. From
Is
the
Carter
defense, so I
is
assume
Carter
they'll be
on
there.
the team or is he not? Like, I'm confused
No,
here.
I was just getting ready to call the next witness.
Okay.
Understood.
Mr. Tart, you get to step down.
Hey, Johnson.
Glad to see you anxious there, Mr. Kane.
Your Honors, if it would please the court, I would like to request that maybe we let people know that when they're getting sworn in, they need to understand an objection is on the table, and they need to, pipe down a little bit and let you guys make a ruling on it, because we need your rulings on objections to proceed with any kind of contest.
I would agree.
Well said, Larry. Thanks for the history lesson, Larry.
Johnson.
Well, that history, there's been a lot of people yapping over objections.
It has been. Don't worry, it'll get weeded out.
I'm confused here. Is Carter on this as one of the
Dr.
as one of the
Colin Uscapi.
district attorneys, or like what's he doing here? He's
Carter's third
educating
chair.
them
He's bar
on
certified.
shit to do.
He's just a bar certified third chair. Same way how you have 3 lawyers.
He's me.
Was he listed?
Hit me, big guy.
No, you don't have to list like. No.
He's just
I
He's just
know.
like fucking
Very
coaching
edgy.
them. Like crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, he is the former ADA,
He's not doing a very good job coaching them because they failed to establish premeditation.
With your chest, cadet.
He's working on it. He's trying to remember his lines. You got this, buddy. You got this, buddy. Swear me in.
Loud and proud, Dennis Ball.
What the fuck?
Come on.
Sorry. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury?
Heck yeah.
The witness is swearing, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Doctor, take a seat. I just ask that if you hear the words objection, just seize what you're speaking of. Just
I'll cease thinking. You got it.
no, just seize talking. Okay.
No, I like that. Objection called, brain off.
Okay, Mr.
Yeah,
Anderson, he's your witness.
Alrighty, Doctor. What is your relevance to Commissioner Colt Cassidy?
Well, I am the chief of medicine here in the city, and I recently just did an examination on him in this courtroom to check him for mental fitness.
How did the outcome, what was the outcome?
He appeared of sound mind.
Do you know if he is under any mind-altering drugs?
It does not appear so at this time.
All right, cool.
Would you say that he is fit to stand trial? No 5150s.
You might have to sit, but yeah.
Alrighty, perfect.
Nice.
No further questions.
Defense. You witness.
What was the doctor's name again? Sorry.
Dr. Oscopy.
Colonoscopy.
Dr. Oscopy. Now, you just mentioned on direct testimony that Commissioner Cassidy appeared to be sound of mind. Is that right?
Yeah, I did basically a test to make sure his memory appeared to be intact. Ask him some personal questions, things like that.
Did he appear to be sound of mind, or was he sound of mind?
In my medical opinion, he was sound of mind.
Okay, and what sort of injuries did Mr. Cassidy sustain, to your knowledge?
I'm not sure if I'm at liberty to speak on that, if it's in the record.
We've already gone over this. Rick.
Objection, pretrial motion.
Yep, pretrial motion.
Due to HIPAA and what's not.
Okay, well, we all heard that he got shot, right? We can at least...
I mean, we're really just bringing him up here to verify that Commissioner Cassidy's of sound of mind. I mean, the questioning doesn't need to go further than that.
Oh, we're doing our due diligence.
Yeah, just... So,
also,
we can all... Yes, Your Honor.
Actually, sorry, go on.
Hey, Johnson, you know you can do diligence?
Mr. I forgot your fucking name.
I see you understand you, son.
Oscopy. You were here in court just a few moments ago, is that right?
Yes, I was watching from the balcony.
Okay, and you heard that Commissioner Cassidy had sustained a gunshot wound.
You look real good there.
I do not know if I heard that directly.
You look like a failed Beatles.
Okay, were you not paying attention?
I usually zone out, to be honest.
Objection, relevance.
I'm getting
he's
there.
He's only on the stand to do sound of mind.
You look like Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Fine, go.
All
Why
right.
is this guy being
it's in scope.
What?
You look like a mummy they just uncovered from a tomb.
He's laying foundation.
It's not relevant.
Okay. Your Honors, I don't know if was there a ruling on that objection? Sorry.
The state will withdraw.
Yeah.
I have one more question. I just have one more question.
You look like you're about to have a gavel shoved up your ass.
Dr. Oscopy, when did Commissioner Cassidy wake up from the ICU?
Objection.
Again,
Lack of scope.
Objection!
Objection! Shit!
There is an objection. Hold until we hear the objection, and we give a ruling.
Out of scope and kind of asked and answered. Out of scope because I asked for his relevance, and his only answer was he was here and Colt showed up. So relevance and asked and answered.
I would have to agree.
All right, fair enough. No further questions.
Thank you. Any redirect?
State has nothing further.
No redirect. All right.
Apologies, I sometimes, tone Anderson out, to be honest.
That's crazy.
Okay, doctor.
Nah.
Okay, we all do.
I would like to mark that witness for recall after the court case because I got something I need checked out.
Understood.
Understood.
The state would like to call Commissioner Cassidy to the stand.
Yeah, let go of this.
Thank you, state. Mr. Cassidy.
You look like a witness that's about to get destroyed on the stand.
Help me up, Leanne.
Like
This
food.
attorney keeps trying to talk to me, so I try to get up.
Look at this piece of meat about to enter the courtroom.
Someone hold the door for him.
Door. Oh,
Yeah, you gotta push the doors.
excuse me, Your Honor.
Someone hold the door for him. Jeez.
Yeah, someone want to...
Why are we having a
there we
crippled
go.
man bash his legs into doors until they open?
God.
How dare you?
Why is everyone throwing themselves at the commissioner?
How about this, Leanne?
Your
would
Honor,
you be so kind? Would you be so kind as
Because
to
he looks like
help
Justin
your
Bieber.
brother
Larry.
to the
It
stand?
was an accident.
You know, just like...
Make it rain.
Bridal carry him if you
Yeah,
must.
just like...
The obstruction of justice to our
Thank
court
you, Larry.
commissioner.
I can walk once you get me over the ledge. Here you go. Yep, just hit me over. Oh. All right, there we go. Ow.
Careful now.
Careful.
I didn't do shit.
Ow.
No,
He's got him in
not
sport
yet,
mode.
Rabbit, but you're about to do some shit to him.
Man,
Would you please
hello.
raise your right hand?
Yeah. Raising.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? under the penalties and pain of perjury?
I do, and also under the pains and penalties and perjuries of having to listen to this court case for the last half hour. I was bored to tears.
Sworn in, Your Honor.
All right, Mr.
That's how much he was paying attention for, I guess.
I am.
State your witness.
Waiting for him to get comfy. Comfy Colt.
It's hard to be comfy right now, to be honest with you. Pain. Need a lot of pain right now.
Are any of those pains penalty under perjury?
No, that was just the boredom.
All right.
Let it be known
Commissioner,
he's bored because
we're gonna
of
pick up
Beauregard's testimony
to that video call with your sister. Through testimony, Leanne Cassidy pointed out to you during that video call that the individual was Killian Gray. Then an altercation happened and the phone call ended. Could you please explain what happened from there?
Well, that ain't the whole story. You're missing a big piece of this.
Would you care to enlighten the court?
Well, it all started about 20 minutes before that. I was having a conversation with my sister. See, my sister has been positioning to try and get the family farm by getting married to some man called Valentino. She's done that in secret, and I was upset. I had just gotten out of the hospital at that point, and well, Leanne let me wheel on down the road all by my lonesome, and when I went up the street, there was a man called Travis Knight who picked me up on the side of the roads. Travis Knight was a troubled, massively failed real estate agent who had decided to give me a ride. He was too weak to lift my wheelchair into his vehicle, and we were there for quite some time. I finally phoned Leanne after she had left me on the side of the road to fend for myself after freshly getting out of the hospital. And I had gotten on a call with her, video call, and as I did, while me and Travis were pulled over at the, the median in front of Yellow Jack?
Yes, I do.
The one pointed towards the prison?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was telling him all about how my sister was trying to steal the family farm with marriage with the imbecile. And as I did that, a man pulled up on the side in a car.
Could you describe that car?
The vehicle, from what I recall, was... my memory's hazy on that part. I can't remember directly the car, to be honest with you. I do remember the man, however. The man who raised a gun and told me to get the fuck out of the car. I do remember that.
Could you point to that individual if they were here today?
If I could raise my arm, I could, but from what I can see, he's the man in the white suit. I'll never forget him. This powder
two people here with a white suit.
The minute I laid eyes on him, he had his gun up. I said to myself, wow, this man would have had a great one-time success in the movie industry in a singular movie and then would have failed into obscurity.
I hate him, bro.
He would have been smooth.
That man is right there behind you in the white suit with the red tie and the white fedora because he's a neckbeard.
What the fuck?
Ooh.
What the fuck?
Yikes.
And he's got no nipples.
I bet if you give him long enough, if I compliment him, he'd tip his hat to me.
Your Honor, we would like to motion for the mention of neckbeard to be stricken, as that is clearly false. That man has a clean-shaven face.
It's a euphemism for his personality. It's his inner spirit, like a spirit animal. It's a neckbeard.
Also, I'd like to call for speculation. Why would he ever tip his hat at you? You're not his Discord kitten.
Now,
stricken from the record.
Princess.
Let's move on.
Oh God.
Now, the man who had the spirit animal of a mammoth crossed with Sid the Sloth and an oversized cow took me on a long ride down south on the highway.
Fucking guy.
He talked about a lot of things that he claimed, including the following. He told me that Officer Hillinghead and Officer Valentino have engaged in a number of illicit and criminal activities, including multiple murders out of state. 3 in particular, from what I recall him trying to tell me.
6.
In that same conversation, he disclosed to me, in fact, that my sister was indeed married and had changed her name, not that she was getting married. She had done it under the cover of night and had not told me in the conversation before.
That's a true statement.
And had argued with me. That upset me a great deal. I felt a little betrayed, and then he made me call her, where I asked her if it was the case. And she said it was so. As it became evident that it didn't seem I was going to survive this encounter, Killian eventually drove me all the way to the airport. I knew he was Killian at this point because my sister had told me on the phone at the moment he had tried to hold me up. He described to me multiple occurrences where he had taken my sister to this exact same spot before. He asked me what I was going to do about the corrupt officers, Hillinghead and Valentino. He asked me all about what I was going to do with Leanne and the fact that she was marrying a murderer, among other things. He asked me and told me all about how the police officers apparently
Robbie creeping me out,
dismissed the fact that Leanne had been kidnapped and ignored it entirely when she had met the fate that I was about to. And he made me phone her one last time where I told Leanne to take the farm, do whatever she needs to do. That's all hers, and to be wary of Valentino from here on out. Because despite the fact that I would love my family farm, Mr. State's Attorney and Miss Justice, the reality of the situation is that I love my sister more and I love my family more, even if she lied to me. Because a man that could manipulate and lie and murder multiple times, well, I just have to think that they'd be able to manipulate and lie and warp and push my sister to do exactly what they want her to do. And as I came to that realization, I was ready to sacrifice it all for her. And when I thought Killian was going to let me go free, he told me to look out. Told me all about how San Andreas has the most beautiful views, and he's grateful that he could give me one for the last time. And from that, all I remember is the smell of gun smoke and darkness. And maybe the feeling of air brushing across my face in just the littlest, tiniest way.
He more or less told you to think about the rabbits.
There was no rabbits involved because I'm not a furry like you.
That's crazy.
On the record that Kane Anderson is a furry?
Yeah, we could keep
that. We can keep that on.
Keep it.
I hate all of this. So he brought you to one of the towers at LSI.
Kane Anderson is a furry on the record.
He brought me to one of the hangars at the back and took me up a staircase, walked me through a hallway, up another set of stairs to the roof or ladder. I can't remember which. Into that roof. That's what he did. In fact, I climbed a vent multiple times on ear, and it was very painful.
Was there ever any interaction between you and Killian Gray before this incident?
Never. He knew exactly who I was when he came to pick me up. He said that he'd been trying to get me for a very long time, and I was to be the completion of his plan.
Did he ever divulge what that plan was?
To ruin my sister's life and expose corruption in my police force.
I never said ruin Leanne's life.
He was very insistent on the guilt of Officer Hillinghead and Officer Valentino.
But the guy on the put in the phone. True.
He also
Even if you lose, this is okay. Yeah,
sexual
true.
affairs in my office, including in the CID department in particular, involving Lincoln Carter, Ricky Rosa, and others.
Oh.
Okay. One moment, Your Honor.
Sure.
I'm gonna let you cook, Johnson. Yeah.
Hey, I only have I don't have many questions for him.
That's fine.
Nothing more at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
Okay.
Defense, your witness.
Well. For someone claiming you were falling asleep during the court case, I wanted to thank you for that amazing yapping during your testimony. I and the court appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate your subpar mid-hairdo.
I appreciate your Justin Bieber attitude. Anyway.
I think your lack of jawline's just stunning.
I'm gonna be honest, this is a pretty bad haircut.
And honestly, I think that I've done a lot of meth cheekbone structure. It works wonders on you.
Interesting. Yep, what? You stated you were in pain, is that correct? Physical pain?
Can you repeat the question?
You stated you were in pain, is that correct?
Well, now this question has started, of course I am.
Are you currently on any medications for
I
that
am
pain?
not.
Objection, Your Honor, at a scope.
He stated he was in pain. Just following up on it. I don't have many questions for you because you pretty much did my job for me, and I appreciate that.
Well, hold on. The ruling on the objection is going to be sustained.
All right, I'll move on. I just want to ask some clarifying questions for the court because, like I said, you did my work for me. Prior to the gun being, quote, the gun being raised to me, did my client ever threaten to kill you?
Not to my knowledge, 'cause I never met your client.
No further questions.
Thank you. Redirect from the state.
We marking for recall?
Mr. Anderson?
Yeah. When he tried, or when he did shoot you, did you feel like he was trying to kill you?
What?
He said he was killing me. He was going to let me die. It was my last view.
I guess we opened the scope a little bit.
Okay, that's all.
You want another comment?
No. Defense counsel, are you going to be marking Mr. Cassidy as for recall?
100%, yes.
Okay, Mr. Cassidy, you are not free to go. Please stay in the courtroom. You may step down from the stand, though.
Thank you, Your Honor, for the continued torture.
Thank you for doing that.
Thank you for this courtroom with that long-winded testimony.
To be fair, it wasn't as long-winded as Bo's.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, true.
It could be.
I'll
as
give you that.
long-winded
At
as
least his made sense.
We would like to call Phoebe Finch.
Miss Finch, may approach.
Not a furry.
How many more?
I don't know why. I don't know why she's
see you
here.
in this attire more
You
often.
solemnly swear that the
I honestly don't understand why this particular
the
witness
truth
is here.
under the penalties and
I'm gonna be honest. She hasn't been involved in
part of
anything.
scenes,
Witness
but
sworn in, Your Honor.
she has processed evidence, but that's about it.
I mean,
But we'll see where this goes.
I mean, you should be able to tear this apart.
Yeah.
I don't know the relevance of her being here.
Just remember objections and just hold your tongue and let us rule.
Turn your brain off.
I don't actually know why Phoebe is a witness.
Yes.
Could you explain your relevance to the charges placed upon Mr. Killian Gray?
Yes, I was tasked by
keep-
Deputy
am I-
Chief
am I shouting? How does he
Leanne
keep
Cassie
hearing me?
Valentino to build a master file on Killian Gray and all of the reports and things included.
So that's the only relevance she has to this entire thing?
Through reviewing all of these cases, how did you come to cross-reference the evidence and build this master file?
I spent a very long time going through the MDT, referencing officers
morning.
and people involved, victims, getting their statements, going through each report, listing each into the report, and just in general combing through the MDT with the help of a few others as well.
On the aspect of the court charged torture, what cases come to mind?
The original
Trying to wrap it.
is it, can I let me all right, so originally there is a on the I believe second on the timeline, the threats against Cassidy. She was receiving threatening text messages throughout the evening that
This
she
has
was
already
with
been
Dante.
this has already been stated, hasn't it?
He was asking her about, Killian was asking her about property of his that had been taken that he wanted back, and was giving threats about if he did not receive that
This has
property
already
back.
been stated, everything.
They were followed by Mr. Killian throughout the evening, including pictures of him, him taking pictures of her
Like an asked and
and
answered.
sending them to
This
her.
has already this has already been talked
She was
about.
then involved in
but this
a
witness-
She's
incident, I believe, at
restating
Elysian
everything
Fields.
that's already been-
I don't have the report numbers in front of me right now.
Okay.
But it was a kidnapping situation.
Again,
where
I don't,
he ended up
I don't
shooting her
understand
with
her
a sniper.
relevancy to being a witness.
She woke up in the ICU
Yeah, give it a
to
shot.
snakeskin boots, which had been referenced as the property that he had wanted back.
Objection. Sorry, objection at this time to cumulative, Your Honor. If, and may I be heard on that a little bit further?
Yes, please.
If the sole intent for this witness is to basically rehash everything we've already talked about and kind of wrap it up in a bow, we ask that they can do this in their closing statement. We've already heard all this through other testimony.
All right. I can rephrase with a more direct question, which I try to avoid during, the fact that I
you.
can't lead in questions.
What?
Well, then I'll just object to leading.
All right, cool. Hey, Phoebe,
Yes, sir.
how was Leanne tortured?
What?
She had received many threatening text messages over a month period of time. She's
How
been
was she physically tortured?
physically tortured. She had been shot with a high-powered rifle.
That's
in
not
the neck.
torture.
She had a knife ripped through her earlobes, ripping her earrings out. That can be referenced in medical reports. She's been left
That's
for
now
dead multiple
tortured?
times by him.
What? That's also a lie. What? That's a
And
lie.
just in general, harassed and threatened and told that family members
What?
of hers and people in her life that she cared about would be killed if she did not do things that he wanted.
Huh?
What motive through all of these cases did Killian Gray have?
Why is he just...
Through witness testimony from Leanne herself, there was a conversation between her and Killian
What is going on?
about
I don't
his
know
wife
what the point of this is.
and how his wife had been
What?
in a
What
brutal
relevant?
accident.
What? Why are they talking?
And it was
Stop her
at
from
the
talking
hands
about
of
this.
dirty cops. And throughout these text
Stop
messages that
her
have been
from
referenced
fucking
today,
bringing this up. You
it
don't
has
get
been
to
apparent
fucking
that-
bring that up.
Your Honor, objection again at cumulative.
Objection, yeah.
You do not
We've-
get to bring up her
we've already-
fucking name and
we've
bring her
already
into this.
heard all of
Mr.
this.
Gray, Mr. Gray. Mr. Gray, please. What was the objection, Mr. Richards?
It's cumulative, Your Honor. This is testimony that we've already heard, which is wasting the court's time at this point.
How long has it been going on? Since
Rebuttal,
about 9 o'clock.
Mr. Anderson.
I'm building my case towards the terrorism charge, which requires fear-mongering to a specific group of individuals.
What fucking group of individuals? If she keeps bringing up my fucking wife, so help me God.
Wait, who's your wife?
She's fucking dead.
Objection is going to be overruled. There has been no mention at all during this case about his motives for anything to do with it.
Actually, Bo, they literally asked Bo my motive.
I think it's Bo within it.
Wait, for terrorism, Your Honor? Are you talking about for terrorism?
I believe
your objection was cumulative, and that this testimony has been given previously. I have heard nothing about his motives.
It literally was asked.
Your Honor, I believe Bo covered this during his extremely lengthy testimony.
I heard nothing about anything to do with Mr. Killian's wife during Mr. Bo's testimony.
I would also just like to put it out there, just because one person says it doesn't mean it's true. However, if multiple people say it, it's more than likely true.
That is also not what?
Mr. Anderson, we understand that. The objection is overruled. You may continue. Can you please re-ask the question?
Yes. Through the cases that you have viewed, what would drive Killian Gray to have a motive?
Along with what I've already said, there was witness testimony to Leanne, to myself, that Killian wanted to show her that there was a much bigger life outside of the badge, that he was trying to flip her. She called it a kind of obsession.
I mean, come on, speculation.
There were
at that
points
point.
where he left her gifts. That is what he called them, I guess. Flowers, a boot with a watch in it that was also believed to have a some kind of a hearing device or sound device in it, because there were then later conversations between the two of them that she had had privately only between her and Dante.
Your Honor, I was waiting until the witness was done, so I'm renewing my objection at this point to speculation. Both to question and answer.
She's testifying about things she doesn't have a first-hand account on.
The first-hand account is reviewing either past warrants or investigative reports or already claimed guilt charges.
Can you read from the record what the question was, too? I forget it off the top of my head, but it did call for speculation.
I have paraphrased somewhat, but it was what would drive Killian Gray to have a motive. That is not a direct quotation. If you could restate it, Mr. Anderson, that would be wonderful.
I did hear the word thought, which again, like, to me, is like state of mind of my client.
Wow.
Trying to find. I'm kind of just. Jesus. Kind of just letting their objection go here and finding a new way to phrase this.
Yeah, objection is sustained. Just reword it, please. You need a moment with the co-cancel, that's fine.
Okay. In your training as an officer of the LSPD.
What?
Yeah. Through the review of the master file, which is submitted to this docket, is there anything that makes you believe that Killian Gray had a motive?
Yes.
Through your answer, how is this supported?
Would you like me to repeat anything that I've said, or just add to it if I believe there's anything else?
Yes, please. Rephrase from the top.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Spark note it.
Yeah, I'll do my best. So I was tasked again with accumulating all of these reports all into one, and one of those tasks was speaking with Miss Cassidy Valentino and getting her firsthand witness statements and compiling it all together with all the reports. So through all of these reports and all of my investigation, she had told me about multiple conversations between her and Killian. There was one conversation referenced at the vineyard specifically, where he had spoken to her about his wife.
She told me that person's not here to.
He had mentioned how she died brutally.
Technically, she is.
And then it was revealed later
she's not on the witness
that it was at the hand of dirty cops.
Hearsay, right? Hearsay, right? Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay. It's out of court statement, and I don't believe that person is here to testify to whether what they said was indeed that.
I mean, she's behind you.
I'm right here.
But is she listed as a witness?
Is she going to be called as a witness?
That we agreed in pre-trial she wouldn't.
Okay.
Wait, she wouldn't or would?
Wouldn't.
Guys, I'm gonna keep jumping up and down.
Give us a quick moment to look through the reports.
Fuck, Rose.
If I'm allowed to tell you, I can tell you.
I would allow that.
It is 4639.
Johnson, I'm losing my shit here. Yeah, I don't.
This rabbit's just trying to run Jess over.
Free rein. He understands. He was in that meeting. He knows that he has a license to fuck with us.
Yeah.
And when he's doing it overtly like that, we have to open our mouths.
I mean, I'm cool with chilling on objections. I mean, I don't think her testimony. I don't know. It's not really her. I don't even know what the fuck she's saying, man. She's talking about roses.
So
hearing devices. Like, who gives a shit?
She's doing a weird roundabout way of preponderance of evidence by giving us all of the information as the compiler. I don't understand if she wasn't part of any of these scenes, why the fuck she's on the stand. I don't get it.
That's my biggest thing. She wasn't. I don't even know who this person is.
Okay, for the motion for hearsay, it's going to be overruled. The witness is testifying to direct knowledge of the conversation that she had with Leanne, and it's supported through
She needs to rephrase
reports that was given to you.
It's fine. Just let it go for time's sake.
All right.
The state is going to have nothing further at this time.
Thank you.
Just a few minutes, Your Honor.
I don't have nothing.
Honors. Sorry, I keep making that mistake.
Understood.
I don't have
It's
nothing.
all right.
I don't even know what the hell she was talking about.
It's not very often you see two up here.
Someone's fucking...
I don't know why there's a worm there.
All right, what do we think?
I
mean, they're trying to... it sounded like through this witness they were trying to prove terrorism, but I didn't really think that...
Yeah, I don't understand why they would call a witness that has zero attachment to any of the cases, that sole purpose was to compile the cases to give us a lackluster report that we now have to try to fucking fight against.
It sounds like they called this witness to give their closing statement for them. But, okay, yeah, I mean, I have no questions. If you guys have no questions, we'll just...
I don't even know what this is crazy.
Your Honors, we have no questions for this witness, and we will not be marking them for recall.
Understood.
That needs to go heavy in the closing.
State, do you have another witness?
$10.
No, Your Honor.
Oh, wow.
Do you rest?
Okay.
The most that we would like... hold on. The most we would like to say is, while we do understand the mass amount of reports... Pardon me while I sneeze.
God bless you.
While we do understand the massive amount of reports inside of the master file in the lengthy report for Commissioner Cole Cassidy, to have all points of evidence reviewed to cross-reference with all testimony heard today.
Yeah, we'll give you that chance.
That's what I was resting on.
You want to do that now or after? After?
No, after them. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, we'll give you them. State, or sorry, defense. Your first witness?
1 moment, Your Honor. Honors, fuck.
No problem.
do we think? Do we need to call anyone?
Doing great, Rick.
Mr. Gray wants to testify.
I strongly advise against that.
Yeah, I don't think we should testify. We called. Who do we mark for recall? We marked.
Oh, this guy.
Bo. We get Bo back up there. The doctor. We did mark the doctor for recall. I don't
really have any questions for him. The state hasn't proven shit that I can think of. They haven't proven anything.
I don't think they proved terrorism, to be honest.
I think you really need to hammer the closing statement with that last witness and beyond a reasonable doubt.
No, I agree. I mean, look, I'm looking at everything right now, and they're thinking about everything right now. Terrorism, they didn't describe any sort of fear-mongering among a group of people. Just isolated to, like, not even fear-mongering. I mean, it was just...
It would have been so easy for them to prove premeditation, too.
What is happening?
And I got none of that.
Yeah. In drug trafficking, we heard 3 bricks. That's it. I mean, even if we're going to attribute those 3 bricks to him, it's not...
Yeah, but when were they in his possession? They didn't prove PC to search the vehicle where they found the 3 bricks.
Are we calling anyone? Because we can just rest and then we can have this
I think
conversation.
I'm just going to rest and take the time to... Your Honors.
I'm getting antsy.
The defense is ready to present their case. All right, the defense rests their case.
Thank you, Mr. Richards.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Great case. Great
we
case,
would
buddy.
request, I don't know, can we get like 10 to 15 minutes to prepare closing statements?
So before closing, I'm going to give the opportunity for both counsels to present highlighting evidence in a less than formal way. And then after that, we'll move to closing and then we will deliberate. But at this time, we're going to be in recess for approximately 10 minutes as requested. We'll be back here at 11:10 in the Eastern Zone.
Yes, Your Honors.
All right, counsels, are you guys ready to proceed?
Sure.
All right.
Yes, Your Honors. Defense is ready to go too.
Can I get uncuffed from Larry and back to the table, please?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, okay, Dr. Robotnik.
Who's Dr. Robotnik?
That's a good one.
Okay.
You got stretchy cuffs,
Am I
I'm
cuffing
sorry.
him back up to here, or?
All right, Steve. You're up.
yeah.
You can present any evidence that
Let
you
me
want us to
cuff him back over here.
specifically look out and reference.
I need you both to walk over. Yep. Okay. All right.
All right.
Each over there. and I'll
For
put you cuffed over there.
pinpoint, in reference to the phone numbers, will be report 2351 and 2788.
Fuck are these reports? What are these reports?
Even if the judges are...
I don't know, I zoned out.
There's
It
no
was
fucking way they can make sense of it.
2351 and 2788, you said?
Yep.
Okay, and that's for the phone numbers?
Correct.
I thought the phone numbers were fucking scratched off.
Anything else?
Yes. Report 4247 and report 4316 and all of its contents.
Oh, if you're... Yeah, I've already seen everything.
To reference?
No, just the entire report.
What's the... What?
It's 4360, what?
Wait, were
was
these
the last
reports
one?
brought up in trial?
4247, right?
Yeah, 4247 and then 4360 something.
16.
Yeah, I've already seen them. Yeah, I was there. I mean, I was there to witness it all.
Hey.
What are they bringing up?
Hey, Rick.
Rick!
What's next, Mr. Anderson?
They're trying to include the
Anything
entire
else?
fucking master file and
That's
everything
it.
in it.
Okay.
Oh.
What? Why are they doing that
Defend it.
now?
Don't know.
Fight them?
Your Honor, just taking a step back, are they trying to include like the entire master file into evidence? What What's the?
We
what are we trying to add?
we are currently calling. If you want to call any evidence into reference,
What?
for deliberation, from any of the reports within the master file, just to note them for us now, so that we can take a look into those.
No, I'm just going to let everything rip in closing.
All right.
Okay.
Both parties are ready to make their closing statements. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep.
State, you may begin.
Your Honor, and all in attendance. Because of the mass amount of evidence and the utmost violent court charges, instead of boasting and exaggerating, I'm going to be more direct towards each charge.
Huh?
For his court charge of torture, we have the events of Leanne Cassidy with the knife being put through her ears and the torture given upon Scarlet Strega.
What? I thought they were only doing torture for Leanne.
On the aspect of terrorism, it has been heard through testimony, time and time again, that Killian Gray was targeting officers and any person who happened to be involved with Bo Hillinghead.
Lies.
That is how Scarlet Strega got involved, and that is how May got involved. You heard it from Colt Cassidy that he had never met Killian Gray before in his life, but there he is, holding a gun, trying to kill him. On the aspect of drug trafficking, Killian Gray has been found.
I actually have seen Colt before.
On multiple occasions with high-grade weaponry and copious amounts of drug paraphernalia. On the aspect of attempted murder, we have the testimony of Tobias Tartt and Colt Cassidy himself of the events that led up to his almost demise. On the aspect of kidnapping a government employee, I reiterate the same. And on the aspect of reckless evading, take it or leave it. We didn't get to really talk about it. The evidence is there, and it is massive. All of these connecting dots that pinpoint to this one man who probably, with the help of others, as per Colt Cassidy's testimony and Bo Hillinghead's testimony of goons, that this man is dangerous. And this man has caused a lot of harm across the state towards officers and their friends. We wish that all of this gets reviewed and weighed heavily. We will still wish upon the original time and fine given of a life sentence with no parole for 45 years. That is all.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Richards.
Your Honors, members of the courtroom, at the beginning of this case, I asked you to remember a simple question. When the story gets twisted, does justice unwind? Well, we've journeyed through the state's maze. They presented you with a chilling narrative, a web of accusations designed to ensnare our client, Mr. Killian Gray. But what did the actual evidence show once we look past the shocking headlines and the emotional testimony? Now, for terrorism, the state had to prove a described agenda of political influence or fear-mongering to an audience. Well, what did we hear? Nothing. Where was that in direct testimony? Simple answer is that it simply wasn't presented. For torture, it's also simple. There was a lack of articulation.
That's
we heard about some
years
heated confrontations.
without parole.
They simply didn't articulate the proof direct testimony for torture. In order to convict our client, they need to prove these elements beyond a reasonable doubt. We didn't hear that here today. Now, for drug trafficking, they
Also
showed you
45
drugs,
days.
3 bricks to be exact, at a scene. Well, where was the undeniable proof that our client controlled any of the drugs referenced today and in the reports? Even if we're to assume my client was in constructive possession of the 3 bricks, that's 3 bricks. Now, I was a political science major, so I'm not good at math, but I can read. That isn't drug trafficking. Look at the burden of proof. Where were the 11 bricks, 11 plus bricks needed to convict my client? Because they sure weren't in this case. And for the attempted murder, the most serious of allegations, getting the commissioner was an opportunistic moment, not premeditated. Colt, in his own statement, was at a place where he usually doesn't frequent. Someone rolled up on him. The premeditation that was seemingly brought up was Mr. Gray's desire to hold corrupt police accountable, not deliberately planning, considering, or conceiving the idea to kill someone. The state had to prove calm, cold premeditation for first degree. Officer Tarts came on the stand here to talk about it too, but there was no mention of premeditation. The state's narrative, for all its drama, is riddled with holes. Holes of unclear motives, questionable witness credibility, and assumptions presented as facts. If their narrative is a maze, then reasonable doubt is the clear path out. The burden was the state's. They asked you to put my client behind bars for life. They did not meet it for these charges. We asked you to find my client, Killian Gray, not guilty.
Thank you, Mr. Richards.
That was good. That
Well
was good.
said.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That
at
was
this
good. Good
time,
job.
the court will now be in recess as myself and Magistrate Riley will be in deliberation. Same thing goes. Please conduct yourselves accordingly.
Okay.
Dab me
as
up. Dab me up.
This may take some time. Thank you.
Dab me up. Yeah, think about what I said.
Yeah, I will.
All rise.
I'm rising.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the court is now back in session. We have Mr. Killian Gray here, correct, and all his counsel. Is that correct? Everyone from the state is here. All right.
Yes, Your Honors.
All good.
The court is now ready to render a verdict. A case of State versus Killian Gray. And I will address each charge separately, applying the standard of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Again, I must emphasize that Mr. Gray began this trial with the presumption of innocence. The presumption remained with him throughout these proceedings until and unless the state presented evidence that proved beyond a reasonable doubt. Myself and Magistrate Menzel have carefully considered the evidence presented, the witness testimonies and arguments by counsel and the application of law. Our verdict is based solely on the evidence admitted during trial and the law that applies to this case.
Oh, that's good.
With respect to count one, the charge of principal torture. The crime of torture requires evidence of extreme physical pain or mental pain or suffering for the purposes of revenge, extortion, persuasion of any sadistic purpose. The state presented compelling arguments and testimony regarding the torture of Hillinghead and Leanne. Specifically, the evidence showing constant threats, emotional manipulation,
They never brought up
stalking, and the brutal cutting of both of the victim's ears, Miss Leanne. With this, the state has proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Gray is guilty of torture.
Cap.
With respect to count 2, the charge of principal terrorism. Terrorism under the state of San Andreas Penal Code requires evidence of destruction of property with a political motive or fear-mongering from with an audience. According to the San Andreas Penal Code, and with regards to what was presented today in this case, at no time did we hear or see any destruction of property with political motive or fear-mongering with an audience. Therefore, the defendant is found to be not guilty for terrorism.
Oh, okay.
It's a win.
With respect to count 3, the charge of principal drug trafficking. Drug trafficking
Not
requires
guilty on
proof
terrorism.
beyond a reasonable doubt in this court that the defendant possessed a substantial quantity of controlled substances. No evidence was presented to prove beyond a reasonable
Drug
doubt
trafficking, throw it up.
that Mr. Gray had possession of 11 or more bricks or 80 counts worth of possession of controlled substance charges. There are 2 reports listed in the master file, one which he pled guilty to regarding the 3 bricks that was mentioned in testimony in the court, and one that didn't even identify the defendant to any extent or suspicion. Therefore, the court finds that the defendant is not guilty for drug trafficking.
Oh, shit.
There you go.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is wild.
With regards to count 4, the attempted first-degree murder. Attempted first-degree murder requires intent to kill and premeditation. The state provided testimony of how Mr. Gray has been looking for Colt Cassidy for a long period of time. Mr. Gray took Colt hostage, brought him to a common spot that he has used in the past to commit heinous crimes, and verbally stated that his intent was to kill Colt Cassidy. With that being said, the state has proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Gray is guilty on attempted first-degree murder. With respect to count 5, the charge of reckless evading, the charge requires evidence that the defendant fled from pursuing law enforcement with wanton disregard for safety of persons and property. There was no evidence that we heard regarding that. The defendant is not guilty. With respect to count 6, kidnapping of government employee, this charge requires forcibly taking and carrying away a government employee against their will. And based on the compelling evidence and testimony presented, the court finds that the state has proved beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty of kidnapping of a government employee. In summary, the defendant, Killian Gray, is guilty for principal torture, not guilty for principal terrorism, not guilty for principal drug trafficking, guilty of attempted first-degree murder, not guilty of reckless evading, and guilty of kidnapping of a government employee. The court will now proceed to sentencing phase of these proceedings. With this being said, myself and Magistrate Menzel have taken into consideration the state's position and petition for their sentencing agreement. And with that being said, we have come up with the following. Mr. Gray is ordered to pay $100,000 in fines, and he is to serve a 20-year life sentence without the possibility of parole. Due to the nature and the heinous crimes that he has committed and has found guilty with today, this time and fine will stand. I want to thank everyone for their time and consideration to the court proceedings and seeing the justice be served today. I appreciate everyone's time and efficiency and lack of disruption. It really means a lot to me, and I'm sure that other the counsels here today. This concludes the proceedings, and the court is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Your Honors.